And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is our friend Roland Martin, former CNN political analyst, host now of News One Now on TV One. Hello, Roland.
Hey, Steve, what's going on?
Good to talk to you again. All right, I guess we start with the thing everyone's talking about, the Bridgegate, and which has been expanded a little bit today to include the commercials touting New Jersey's comeback after Superstorm Sandy.
Well, actually, I'm not talking about it.
Okay, well, what are you talking about then?
No, because here's what I mean. I mean, when you look at the amount of attention that is being placed on this story, frankly, to me, I think it is dramatic overkill. That's first. I think that, look, you can have an investigation, but folks are going bonkers, over this story. And it was interesting to me. I wrote a column on this where it was amazing to read folks like Charles Blow and others. You saw those Twitter accounts when he had the news conference on Thursday, where, I wish he would shut up in this news conference. And I said, wow. So journalists actually are saying to a politician, please stop taking our questions because you've been talking too long. And I think Governor Christie did exactly what he was supposed to do in this news conference in terms of stand there and say, I'm going to take all of your questions. And it reminded me of that scene of, Senator Arnold Vinnick from The West Wing in that episode we're dealing with nuclear power. The issue now, though, is, look, Christie, he was so matter of fact, he was so pointed that clearly hope nothing comes out that shows that he wasn't telling the truth, but he just put himself in that kind of position. But to me, that's what a politician should do. You should stand there and answer every single question, and frankly, until folks get tired, because I'm sick and tired of politicians coming out, making a statement, and then ducking back in, and then taking no questions.
So you thought he did a good job on that press conference?
No, I thought he did exactly what he's supposed to do, and that is stand there, you take all the questions, and I don't care how long it takes, because again, your job is to be transparent and to own up to it. And I think it is ridiculous when politicians step out there and they talk for 5 or 10 minutes or take 3 or 4 questions. And so, yeah, you say, I'm going to take all comers. I'm the kind of person who says that if you're going to criticize me, I'm going to stand here and take all of your questions and I'm going to answer them. I'm not going to be afraid of you. And so now all of a sudden, now what you have, obviously, you have a federal investigation, and now they're looking at investigating, the spending of Sandy aid. And anybody knows, once the feds get involved, that investigation can go in 30 different directions. And so, but again, I thought that what he did was exactly what he was supposed to do. Stand there, be a governor, and take the questions and take the hit and go on from there.
Well, why do you think the media has provided this dramatic overkill coverage? Media Research Center did a study, and I think as of the weekend, it was something like 70 times more stories on the 3 major networks on so-called Bridgegate than compared to the last 6 months of the IRS scandal coverage, including the fact that Justice Holder, the Attorney General Holder, appointed a woman who contributed $6,000 to Obama's campaigns to do the investigating on the criminal side into the IRS scandal. No coverage of that, none, zilch.
Well, here's the deal. First of all, in many ways, the IRS stuff petered out when you begin to realize that they were hitting folks on both sides.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't, Roland, but go ahead.
Actually, Steve, they were.
Yeah, okay.
My deal is I don't see them play the little left-right game. It is what it is. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
It's boring. The ratings, pure and simple. And that is, if you saw the ratings of all the networks, they were explosive. Whether it was Fox, whether it was CNN, MSNBC, and Obama, that's what folks are watching. Again, for me, on my show on Friday, did I deal with it? No, because frankly, for my audience, I got a hell of a lot more stuff I'm focused on, whether we're talking about education or finance in healthcare, as opposed to, rehashing the same stuff over and over and over. And so my deal is I'm not wasting my time with it. Let me know when something new comes out, and then we'll actually go from there. But that's what it boils down to. And also, you understand, when it comes to the media, there's this game of call, you follow the leader. Okay, and that is, if you don't cover it, oh my gosh, you guys aren't covering it. Well, here's my deal. You do what you do. And so my whole deal is, if Fox doesn't want to cover it, fine, whatever. Then CNN, you do what you do. MSNBC, you do what you do. That's what separates folks. And so, look, I'm so used to, the silly game. Governor Christie is a lightning rod, okay? He's a lightning rod for the left and for the right. I mean, you've got Glenn Beck trashing him. You've got, Limbaugh making his comments. And so that's the kind of person that he is. He is a flashpoint for a lot of people. And that's why I think you have the level of coverage.
All right, fair enough. We're talking to Roland Martin here on the Steve Malzberg Show. You could watch Roland on News 1 Now. Check your local cable listings. I'm sorry, that's his show, and it's on TV 1. TV 1 is the channel that you should be watching. All right, let me ask you about the Gates thing. And the revelation to come out of the book today is that not only did Gates say that, Obama didn't exhibit confidence in his own strategy, not only did he say that, Obama seemed dispassionate, but today I find that Robert Gates said that he questioned Obama's quote-unquote passion for military matters in his forthcoming memoir and claims that practically the only time he saw the passion in President Obama related to the military was during the push to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Doesn't that speak volumes about who Obama is?
First of all, I haven't read the book, and so for me, I believe in context. And so I've been cracking up laughing at the number of people who are pontificating on television and radio about a book none of them have actually read, other than an excerpt.
Well, Gates spoke yesterday, and he made it perfectly clear.
No,
he had terrible trouble with Obama's military strategy and his own belief in it.
I understand that. No, I understand that. But again, I make it perfectly clear that also I look at context. That's first. The other thing is this here. I know a lot more about Dr. Gates than a lot of other people. He was previously, before he came to the administration, as Secretary of Defense, he was president of Texas A&M University. And I had dealings with him, from my alma mater, dealings with him. And I thought, and I certainly said, I remember saying on CNN, I remember Candy Crowley telling me I was wrong. She felt that General Jim Jones was going to be more like the president in terms of personality on issues. I said, no, I think you're going to have Gates there. Here's the trouble that I have, and you see it in Washington, D.C., and that is...
Well, I want to know what your problem is with Gates and your dealings with him as Texas A&M president.
I didn't say I had a problem with Gates. No, what I said is I am very familiar with him in terms of his personality, how he operates. I said the issue that I have is this here. When he testified before Congress, he talked about giving unvarnished advice and being a truth teller. I think part of the problem, again, based upon what has been released thus far, even what he has said, is that too many things are sort of kept in versus expressing those things directly to the president when you're in the midst of them. And I believe that the problem that we have, whether it's President Obama, whether it's President Bush, whether it's President Reagan, Clinton, is that what often happens is, in the presence of power, even individuals with strong opinions sort of hold them back, because, that's the president. I think that does not serve the president well. I think that what works is when, in terms of being able to be straight and honest with the president. But even Gates wrote that, he kept these things to himself as opposed to expressing those things. And look, obviously, this is his perspective in terms of how he views the president. There are others who have a differing viewpoint. This is his opinion from his vantage point, and I'll respect that, and it is what it is. But I think that, again, you're going to have a 360-degree view of the president. Gates has one view, others will have another one.
All right, let me ask you about Amiri Baraka. Were you a fan of his?
I met Amiri Baraka. I'm not particularly a fan of poetry. That's just my thing.
All right. Well, he's been lionized NPR over the weekend. Of course, he passed away. He was a poet. He was a former New Jersey poet laureate of New Jersey, which they did away with that position after he wrote a particular poem. NPR called him one of America's most important and controversial literary figures under the headline of Amiri Baraka's legacy, both controversial and achingly beautiful. I wonder if the achingly beautiful was the 226-line poem that he wrote after the 9/11 attack. Who knew the World Trade Center was going to get bombed? Who told 4,000 Israeli workers at the Twin Towers to stay home that day? Why did Sharon stay away? Who knew why 5 Israelis was filming the explosion and cracking they sides at the notion. He obviously implied, he went on to say that countries knew, including Israel, and they warned Israelis to stay out of the World Trade Center. We also have poems. Barack's poem called Black People asserts that blacks are justified in robbing or even killing whites because the latter, quote-unquote, already stole everything from the former. The white man owes you anything you want, wrote Barack, even his life. All the stores will open if you say the magic words. The magic words are up against the wall, mother effer. This is a stick-up. I mean, a literary, achingly beautiful. This man was sick in the head.
Here's one of the things that I don't do is I don't define somebody's life based upon 2 poems.
2 poems. I'll give you more. You want more poems?
See, 1 second. See, 1 second.
Yeah.
See, 1 second.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I reserve the right to disagree with what anybody has to say. But one of the things that I did was on Friday I talked to Nikki Giovanni, a professor at Virginia Tech, who talked about his passing and said in many ways his passing is like that of James Baldwin. And so clearly over the course of his life, he spoke to a variety of issues dealing with race, dealing with class, dealing with sexism. And yes, when you're in that position, you're going to say things. In the case of his 9/11 poem, to me, I vehemently disagree with that because my deal is if you make any statements like that, please provide some form of evidence to actually back it up. But what I will also say
what about black people, the black people poem?
Oh, first of all, that's just not. I mean, first of all, nobody has the right to sit here and hit somebody, rob somebody. Mess
Let's get together and kill my man in another poem. Poem number 3, because you said 2 poems. Poem number 3, he writes, rape the white girls, rape their fathers, cut the mothers' throats. And you can't judge this man? You can't judge this man?
No, actually, no. What I said is, I am going to judge somebody on the totality of their life, and what I'm going to say is, and that's exactly what I said. And what I'm saying is, there are a number of individuals who look at the totality of his life and what he did beyond simply this poem or that poem. I said totality. Now, if you certainly want to do that, knock yourself out. But for me, that's simply not how I operate. And I am willing to say to anybody, I vehemently disagree with this. This makes no sense. And I will not laud that or praise that and will actually condemn it. And so, and again, that's simply not the way I roll. Nor will I sit here and say, well, I'm going to judge you solely based upon this one comment you said on the radio.
If I said rape the black girls and kill their mothers, I wouldn't be here. I'd be ostracized and done for my life. Okay?
Well, first of all, I mean, I have heard folks make some pretty crazy, wild, and ridiculous comments.
Like that. Give me an example.
No, who happen to still be on the radio. Who, in terms of, again, I mean, I have. I mean, so, I mean, if you want, I mean, you and I can certainly pull up some unbelievable things that Michael Savage has said, but yet he still gets
come on. Kill people? Kill people and rape people and cut their throats?
Steve. Did I say he said exactly this?
No, but you're saying...
What did I say, Steve? What I said is, I'm sure we can find some crazy, outlandish things that he has said, but he's still on the air.
All right, okay, but this is a call for violence. Anyway, always appreciate the open and honest exchange of ideas. And I look next time we talk, Roland. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Take care.
What's that? Okay, yeah, you too. Okay, I don't know what he said for a second, but now I figured it out. He said, okay, take care. Anyway, watch him at on TV One, and the name of the show is News One Now. Check your local cable listings. All right, Steve Malzberg Show. Very interesting stuff. And we are coming back with more interesting stuff on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.